Hey, this is Notser, and I'm going to talk about the Alabama. This was not the original video. I have to talk about it, though. It's just blown up. And it's interesting. It deserves the attention, I think. Well, let's just start it off. So, the Alabama, what is it, Notser? Well, it was going to be a Tier 8 premium American battleship. The South Dakota class battleship. We don't have a South Dakota class in the game. I'm going to infer that eventually we will. There will be a second battleship line for the Americans, but we don't have it right now. And this Alabama is ready to go. Everyone's supposed to be excited, right? They've advertised it. They've talked about it. Sometime in the near future, we're going to be able to spend real money and get it. No, you're not. The Alabama is going to be exclusively a Supertester reward. And I don't know why they're doing this. I have so many concerns related to this, and let's just start off with the most obvious. Why? Why did the Supertesters need an exclusive ship? I was not a Supertester. I am technically not a Supertester. I am a community contributor. I guarantee you the language that they have to agree to suggests that they are not owed anything for their services to Wargaming. Supertesters are basically free employees. They test ships on their own time before they come out on any region. They give feedback in closed forums that developers actively research and confirm with and converse with and discuss and all this stuff. You know, if it weren't for Supertesters, internal development, community contributors, there might be an up-and-coming line that would go live with a extremely overpowered consumable that would require some changes before they actually went live with it. They provide a very valuable service. And I'm going to assume that EU is short on Supertesters since I saw that they are needing them. So maybe 2 or 3 months ago, Wargaming employees were discussing, okay, we're running out of Supertesters, active Supertesters. We really need more Supertesters. Okay, well, what can we do to get more Supertesters? We could obviously advertise and recruit more, but we want them to actually be invested in the game. Well, we could give them an incentive to participate. Maybe after sailing 1,000 battles, 100 battles in unreleased content, you get this ship. And they probably said to themselves, oh, well, we've got the Missouri battleship. We did that whole contract thing. They're not going to mind that the Alabama's not available. They already have a U.S. battleship. They're all the same. Do you see where this breaks down, guys? We've got 1 billion Russian premium ships. Probably more ships than they ever had in a single fleet. Obviously, they probably did have more, but I'm just teasing. There are so many Russian premiums. And what if you were to say, you know what? Oh, they just got a Russian cruiser. We don't need to give them a Molotov or a Kutuzov. We could just take one of those and give them to a Supertester. That's what you're doing. You're giving something that people recognize and are excited for, and you're saying you have no way to earn it. And then they're going to say, oh, well, you have a way to earn it. Participate in the Supertester. They don't have the time. Okay, the whole point of free-to-play is that it's free to play. You can play with as little investment as nothing, or as much investment as you wish. That's what you're trying to do. So the Alabama is a real issue, I think. I hope that Wargaming are going to at some point cave and say to themselves, okay, we'll sell it. Or it will be some sort of special one-time holiday thing. Get it now! You're never gonna get it ever again! And I really think Supertesters, just give them doubloons. Give them an allowance of doubloons, okay? Based on performance. Based on their effort towards the game. Just give them so they can buy whatever they want. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Even if someone says, I already have it. I've got every ship in the game. You can keep it for the future and buy some other ship. I just don't understand why they have to have a super unique experience. And yes, it's an experience. A ship is an experience. There's no way it's going to be a clone of the North Carolina. If it was, then the Supertesters should be pissed. It's not. It's going to be a unique experience. You should not give unique experiences and corner it off to everyone. In World of Tanks, they have clan warfare, and they have clan reward tanks. Okay. The thing is that there's a lot more people in clans than Supertesters. And Supertesters have to be interviewed. They have to be accepted to the program. Theoretically, and obviously this is theoretical, you could join a clan, participate in that clan, be super successful, and get one of the rewards that is exclusive, granted, but you can do that. You don't have any barriers to perform this, and I just don't understand why the Alabama has to be a reward for Supertesters. I just don't. And I think Wargaming are going to find out that this was a very bad thing to do. Maybe it's not a big deal on EU, RU, SEA, but on NA, this is a big deal. We've got way too many Missouris, okay? Most of the Europeans are probably just blowing their mind. How are all these Americans buying this Missouri? It's so expensive. It's not much better. You fall in love with history. There are people who were kids, children, who visited these ships. They fell in love with it. There's just something there that brings joy to you, right? The Tirpitz is basically like that for EU, I hear. The Tirpitz is everywhere. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to drive people away from your game. It's already a small game. Just do everything right, Wargaming. Do the right thing. Sell it and give them some special, unique experience for Supertesters. Unique camo that they can use on everything. Doubloons, an allowance of doubloons so they can buy whatever the hell they want. Give them cool flags that they can fly with great income to make the game a little bit easier for them because of what they provide you. But don't section off an experience from everyone else just so you can say, oh, look, this is what our Supertesters get. The Supertesters are not going to appreciate it as much as the ill will that it's creating. That's just the facts. And I was excited to see the Alabama. I was excited for people to experience the Alabama. It's a South Dakota class battleship. It's a preview of what's to come. We all know this is going to happen. We all know, at least I hope people assume, there's eventually going to be multiple lines for a lot of these factions. There are many different battleship designs for the Americans. Cruisers, destroyers, even aircraft carriers. I mean, we don't even have the Hornet. There's a lot of things that aren't in the game that we know existed. We even know them by their name. They're eventually going to be there. And the South Dakota class is one of them. And we're not going to see it for a long time. It would be different, I think, if there's a way to get the South Dakota right now with it. It still wouldn't be acceptable, but it would be a different response to Wargaming. Now, I might have ripped into them and said things that may be a little harsh, but I think it's need to be said. But what I do believe is that you should not take out your frustration on Wargaming employees who report to the community. They don't have any control over this whatsoever. This comes from the very high up developers. NA, EU, SEA, RU, communities, they just take what they're told. So please be more considerate of those people. They don't deserve to hear how you hate their guts and you don't ever want to see them again. You know, they're the worst people on the earth. They are not your enemy. Many of them probably agree. So keep that in mind, please. Please. It's okay to say, you know what? I hope that you pass along to the developers how I feel. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you get into a stage where you're channeling your anger towards an individual who has no control over this, then we've got a problem. So just try and be a better person. But I'm just as angry. I really do feel like this is a terrible, terrible, terrible decision by Wargaming. There is nothing good that can come from this. That's really the truth of it. There's nothing good that could come from this. Do you seriously think that you're going to have more high-quality Supertesters because, oh, the Alabama is now the reward for that? Do you think Supertesters are like, oh man, if I don't get a unique ship, I am not going to do this. Screw Wargaming. I have no interest in trying new ships, being a part of crafting the experience for players. Are you kidding me? Most of them probably said to themselves, it's a privilege just to get early access to this. That's enough for me. As a community contributor, some of you might confuse me with a Supertester. I am not a Supertester. What I am is an individual that has exclusive access to content slightly earlier than most of the normal population. Nothing in the amount of 2 to 3 months. I'm not asked to give information or input in a special forum that is accessed by developers and read. That doesn't exist for me. What I do is I make content that is supposed to drive viewership towards the potential of buying or ignoring, informing the viewer. It is free publicity for them. I, of course, benefit from this publicity because people come and watch my content. YouTube, with advertisement, will support it. It's a two-way street here, right? It benefits me. Obviously, I'm not going to deny that. I feel like I already get plenty out of this relationship. I get to try out new things. I get to make videos on those new things. I get a community that is interested in my opinion. I really appreciate all that. I don't need a unique ship only for community contributors. I would refuse that. I would say, please give this to everyone else. Please do not give it just to me or my fellow community contributors. I don't want that. And I see people, oh, focus the Supertesters. It's not their fault. It's really not their fault. Please do not channel your anger towards Supertesters or the community contributors. They'll probably just not play it. You'll drive them away. Don't do that. Be kind. Be a better person. Maybe, just maybe, Wargaming will listen to us. I am very impressed by the St. Petersburg Wargaming developer studio. They have done an outstanding job. They are so much better than the other ones. And why is that? Because they really do try to make the game fun for the community. Now, some communities get more little incentives or stuff, but the core game itself, the ones that the developers have control over, feels great. My gripes are aircraft carriers and UI scaling. That's about it. The meta has good design with counters coming in and counters going away. I really do like each ship line. They feel so much more unique than World of Tanks has ever felt. It's less grindy than World of Tanks. The rewards feel great when you get a great kill. They've done a great job of incorporating mods. They are the ones pushing incorporating mods. They get them way before World of Tanks. Only now, after 5, 6, 7 years, World of Tanks is incorporating mods actively into their game, their base game. That's World of Warships since day one. So, Wargaming, don't do this. It's not worth it. You're not going to get enough out of the Supertesters to justify this. The Supertesters are not going to appreciate the attention it's going to draw. Believe me, they don't want this. Most of them will probably not use it for a long time until people have forgotten. Oh yeah, this was only given to you. Maybe there's something they're holding back, and I would hate it if they would have made that statement and actually had information like, oh yeah, we're going to give it to you. We're just going to give you a month leeway and it's going to have a different camo. I would hate that. Okay? It's causing so much controversy that Yeah, let's not do that ever again, Wargaming. So I hope this was intriguing. The discussion is important, because if we allow this to occur without giving any input, and that's what you need to do is input, then they might do this again, and again, and again, and again. And I don't like it this time. I'm not going to like it the 10th time, the 100th time. This is not something I think that is appropriate for this game. Be civil, be respectful, let them know your opinion. If enough people give their opinion, they're probably going to change it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.